question, thank you for being here this evening. To join with us to acknowledge Master Gunnery Sergeant Todd, an incredible, incredible individual. The Master Guns called me and said, hey sir, riddle me this. You willing to come down, participate in a little soiree? I said, absolutely. We're going to have cold beer, we're going to have good food, we're going to have great people. And then he said, oh, by the way, here's the bomb. Time for me to go. I pondered that. It's kind of, for an old colonel, a little bit humbling to be asked by an individual who has so much passion, so much character, to be present on a day like this. And I spent a lot of time trying to figure out what is it that you could possibly say in a moment like this to acknowledge 30 years of service and sacrifice and passion. And I realized I don't have anything to offer. Imagine that, Marine Colonel, nothing on. So instead, through a couple of quotes and an anecdote or two, I'm going to do it through the Master Gunnery Sergeant's own words. Master Guns and I met about 1995. I was a bone-headed captain, just checked into the command. He was a sergeant. And he announced to me one day, sir, you seem like a good, I can't say what he called me. One day we're going to run this joint. Well, I didn't believe him. I was just semi-functional. I was a Big Ten graduate, just discovered my opposable thumb. So lo and behold, things worked out, and we did. We had an opportunity to serve, command tour together. We had an opportunity to deploy together a couple of times. But along the way, I started to watch Ben, Sergeant Engler, operate. And that's the first thing that this gentleman has taught me. He is the consummate operator. If there's an angle, if there's a way, if there's an in, even if there's only an out, he knows it, he finds it, he exploits it, and he turns it into magic. But whenever I'm in doubt about how to get something done, I stop and think about the consummate operator. And then I call my attorney. Figure out what part of this is going to send me to jail. Number two, Master Guns taught me something about attitude in a couple of different ways. One of his favorite quotes is, if you're going to be a bear, be a grizzly. And I always got a kick out of that. It took a little while to register. At the end of the day, if you're going to do it, own it. And he always did. I'm not aware of anything that he has done, in my experience with him, in uniform or out, where he simply didn't say, I'm going to own this, and we're going to do it. We're going to do it right. So my takeaway from that, so what? Never half-ass anything. Never ever. I got a chance to watch him in action one day. Young Marine received an order from then Master Sergeant back then. To which the Marine was a little bit naive and said, why? To which the Master Sergeant responded,
because I'm a God-blessed Master Sergeant, that's why!
I didn't want to do anything to the speaker. And I pondered that. Because I'm a God-blessed Master Sergeant, that's why. The lesson there for me, the takeaway, you got to know your center. You got to know your role. You need to know your place. And the Master Gunnery Sergeant always knew his center, his role, and his place. His center began with who we see lined up here, this man. His role was to lead and care for Marines. And from the earliest age, he always did it. Marines were his passion. Their welfare was his passion.